Hey boys, I'm not going to be doing a review today. This will be more of a rant regarding the community at large, namely the sales communities, rife with trolls and Chinese gold spammers. Trade chat throughout time eternal has always been a cesspool. I personally have many fond memories of talking trash, spamming anal, and linking Thunder Fury in trade chat. But as the game has become more noob friendly, the player base has realized how to take advantage of itself. Sales teams and bots have always been a thing in this game. But with the introduction of the ironically named Discord, mass organization was achievable. This video is going to take a look at what many see as rot in the community. Many videos have been made on this subject already, but I have not seen any from an insider's perspective. I introduce you now to one of these sweaty degenerates ruining this game. Have you ever bought your DPS?
That was not a question on the list.
He wants to hide his identity, but to give credibility to his words, he is both a consistent customer and a junior sales representative in a major boosting community. Without further ado, let us begin. So, who are you?
I am an advertiser in one of the largest boosting communities on World of Warcraft.
How long have you been providing this boosting service?
So I have been on and off advertising selling keys since late Legion, I believe. I remember selling Neltharion's Lair a few times, specifically. I don't know why.
When did this boosting phenomena start, would you say?
I imagine it's been around in some form for a lot longer than this, but I sometime in Legion, I imagine.
Is retail the only game subject to this, or are these services provided in other games?
Yeah, absolutely not. Boosting communities and boosting and communities that will give services for in-game currency. It exists in almost every game. I mean, even in FF14, I've seen it. So it's in Classic as well.
Is it safe to say that boosting makes this game pay to win?
Definitely a hot take, but boosting definitely makes the game pay to win at the higher end. Once you've been a part of a boosting community and you kind of see how these top guilds interact with boosting communities, especially in the Race to the World First, it really kind of ruins it for you. There's a lot of the Race to the World First is kind of determined on who can kind of pay the most gold, believe it or not. So,
for those that don't know, what is RMT?
RMT stands for, well, a couple of things. It's most commonly known as a real money transaction or real money trading. It basically means that people are spending real world currency, US dollars, whatever their currency is from their respective country, for items in game or for a service in game. The community I'm a part of obviously doesn't take part of it, but there are some communities out there that unfortunately do, and will continue to do so until Blizzard hits them with a ban hammer.
Have there ever been communities banned for this?
Yes. AGB, Gallywix, Phoenix, not Phoenix, but I mean, a lot of large communities have lost banks over RMT, but AGB and Gallywix were completely deleted, essentially because of RM, more or less. There were other reasons, but it was a main contributor.
Do communities still actively engage in this?
Yes. Not my community, but I think if you talk to a lot of the higher ups in my community, they all kind of know what happens in other communities, and they're a lot more knowledgeable on the entire industry, quote quote industry. There are definitely some people who are walking on the other side of the line, 100%.
What community would you say is the most obnoxious?
Probably the one that everybody's thinking of. Let me give you a hint. They have 50 people on each server. You can't read any trade chat messages between their spam, and they cut prices down ridiculously just for fun. Yeah, so it's Hukan, I would say.
So the one that comes to my mind is Hukan as well, and they're chat spammers. So tell me what that is all about.
Well, there's just a fuck ton of them, to be honest. They have a lot of advertisers. They're very aggressive. They post very often. Not a big fan of their community for a couple of reasons. They've definitely gotten better since they first started, but still not my favorite group, obviously.
Why do they spam over each other, though?
I have absolutely no idea. It is my understanding that if you spam too much, Blizzard will silence your account and you'll have to get it appealed. Yeah, I don't know why they spam so much. Honestly, just posting once every 3 minutes, you'll make just as many sales.
How does it feel to know you're part of the problem?
It's funny that you consider it a problem, because I would say there are a good majority of players who come to boosting services who just can't contribute the same amount of time as the everyday player base. and they still want to maintain like competitiveness with their gear and make sure they're up to date. And they want a sword that eats other swords. And they just basically pay us for a chance at that so they can play with their friends and be competitive. But maybe they are a doctor or a nurse, or they go to school and they can't play that much. We're kind of bridging the gap for people who don't have the necessary time to complete all their content by themselves.
Chances are you more than likely know a person that is boosted in this game, and it is your job to bully them. WoW has always had a problem with bot farmers and gold sellers, but now we face the threat that the player base has caused itself. With the development of these communities and Blizzard's introduction of the WoW token, WoW is essentially becoming a pay-to-win game. If you want more info on this subject, it may be a smart idea to reaching out to the sellers themselves. Never mind. Personally, I just want these assholes to stop overlapping the same boosting services in trade chat and to stay the hell out of Group Finder. Well, that's it for today.